Hello again. It's nice to be back with you. Linda and I have taken the time to rethink the blog, and we've made some changes. I'm going to read from a prepared paper that I have. I won't do this very often, but I think it's important that we, for this first entry, remain congruent between what's printed on the website and what we're delivering to you in the video. So bear with me, I'm not really comfortable at this. I'm usually better at just letting it flow. Linda and I took a break examining the blog as we were at a standstill for new material to present. We have decided to rename the blog Let's Talk Recovery and open it up to a broader audience. We'll be relating to the process of recovery through the 12 steps that have helped so many to recover, and focusing on the process that has led to this success. In order to keep things more interesting, we will share some of the historical circumstances that were present that has helped shape and develop the 12 steps. As the steps were developed to address alcoholism, it will be necessary to relate to them from that perspective in the historical account. But please keep an open mind, as history has shown that they will work for any form of addiction, including process addiction such as gambling, and emotional addiction such as codependency and sex addiction. Any form of behavior that is harmful can be put into remission through the practice of this simple program and the resulting spiritual and psychic change. We've developed a vision statement for the blog to clarify what it is we're trying to accomplish here. And the vision statement is as follows. Being two people who have experienced the miracle brought about by the practice of this program, the stewards of Let's Talk Recovery are committed to carrying the message of hope to all. Let's Talk Recovery recognizes that there are men and women of all ages and stations in life who have realized that the substance or behavior they are addicted to is not as important as the process that will lead to our recovery. While we respect the numerous 12-step groups that focus on a single aspect of addiction, we prefer to deal with the disease in its many forms. We believe if a recovering person focuses on the similarities of suffering from the disease, the barriers to receiving the knowledge and support to put their addiction into remission will disappear. There's no real difference between the junkie shooting up and the anorexic teenager purging due to an obsession about body image. Both behaviors indicate an inability to accept reality and deal with life on a daily basis, and they can be fatal if not addressed. We sincerely believe that if one person was to die because of an inability to connect to a community that is understanding and supportive is one too many. We believe wholly in the 12 steps of recovery and are immensely grateful to those whose hard-won knowledge led to their development. We do, however, recognize that change is inevitable. As the world is no longer the way it was at the time the 12 steps were developed, we feel we must adapt to the change or risk losing those who cannot relate. It is for that reason that, and with the fullest respect, that we leave it up to the individual in which form they will practice their 12-step program. And as with all 12-step program, your concept of your higher power is yours alone. We will adopt the 12 steps as they appear in the various 12-step programs, as others did make minor adjustments to reflect our position on recovery. And they are as follows. One, we admitted we were powerless over our addiction, that our lives had become unmanageable. 2, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to our higher power as we understand it. 4, made a searching and complete inventory of our defects of character and our shortcomings, focusing solely on our own actions and behaviors. 5, admitted to our higher power, to ourselves and to another human being, the exact nature of our wrongs. 6, were entirely ready to have our higher power remove all these defects of character. 7, humbly asked for our shortcomings to be removed. 8, made a list of those whom we have harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. 9, made direct amends whenever possible, except when to do so would cause injury. 10, committed to continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with our higher power as we understood it, seeking only the knowledge of its will for us and the power to carry that out. And 12, having had a spiritual experience as a result of these steps, we tried to carry the message to those still suffering from addiction, to those in recovery, and to practice these principles in all our affairs. A strong recovery community is the best defense against a return to the destructive behaviors of our addiction. It is with this in mind that we strongly urge those new in recovery to find someone who will walk with them from this point forward. To borrow it from another 12-step program, together we can do what we cannot do alone. That's from the NA Basic Text. We have found that fully committing to the program of recovery, as it is laid out in the various literature, the miracle of a new and prosperous life as experienced by many long-term recovering people will be yours. We strongly suggest you become active in recovery community in whatever form suits you. Seeing the life and hope return to the eyes of an addicted person is a joy you should not miss. Lastly, we acknowledge that the 12-step program approach to recovery may not suit everyone. Excuse me. And encourage everyone seeking recovery not to stop searching until they find a solution that works for them. Now we're back to the blog. The focus of this blog will remain, as before, to build strong community of those in recovery and encourage open sharing of personal experience, strength, and hope. We encourage all who visit to post their stories or knowledge about the recovery process. Respect for others is a point of view that is paramount, as each of us has their own reality. Remember that one of the cornerstones of recovery is to practice the principles, not the personalities. Our stories are the most powerful tool we carry. They join us to others when shared, and they can be used to benefit others when we share what has worked for us. We ask that you take the time to make suggestions as to the information we present on the blog. Remember, please, this is your blog, not ours. We are simply here to create the space in which our higher power can bring forward the miracle of recovery. We will be adding new posts every 2 weeks, but we'll monitor the blog daily and respond to any and all requests as soon as possible. If there is specific material you wish to access, we will research and find what you request add links to it on the blog. For us, this is a new beginning in our labor of love. And love is an action. It is through what we do that people know we love them, not what we say. We look forward to again being actively in community with those who wish to have a happy, joyous, and free life. So from both Linda and I, if no one has told you today that they care about you, let me be the first. Thank God that's over. Now I can simply get back to being me. While I do believe that what I've just read reflects what we want to do, there's much, much more than that. Inclusivity in this disease, or rather the recovery from this disease, is something that we need to strive for. More and more people are becoming dependent upon things to fill that empty hole inside that are killing them. Let's talk recovery. Let's talk prevention. Let's talk about the behaviors that cause us harm, but let's also talk about what led to those behaviors. Let's talk about the trauma that we suffered that has led us to search for those things that will stop us feeling the negative feelings that we have. This is a lifelong process, and it doesn't begin until you make the decision that you are going to make the changes in your life that will allow you to have a full, happy, prosperous one. But there's enough of us out there that we've probably tried immeasurable ways. Some that have worked and some that have not. And it's important to share both. So it is with true gratitude that I thank you for taking the time to come here and be with us and to possibly consider becoming a part of this online recovery community. I will see you in 2 weeks. And my wish for you until then is to have a happy, joyous, and free life. Please feel free to comment or feel free to ask what it is that you need. If there's a way to find it, we'll find it. So until we meet again, live, laugh, and love. From me and Linda, have a good couple of weeks. Oh, and Shadow.